there's like a bigger societal issue that I think we need to address that hasn't really been addressed, which is that men and young men and teenagers, we all need to learn about what consent is and the parameters around consent, the levels of consent. You know what I mean? Like when I was a kid, this wasn't a conversation that we had. There's a lot of nuance, or it's not really nuance, but like you can't. There's no room for debate, right? You got to like. I just think that as a society, we need to learn from these situations, and as men, we have to be aware of like in these moments we need to do the right thing. And I know maybe it sounds insane to some women out there to me maybe hear that because it should be self-apparent, right? It should be obvious. And while I agree, it's weird. Like you wouldn't think. I didn't think about these things growing up and they weren't discussed. And I didn't see men that I look up to. I never had my dad explain to me that if a girl says no, don't ask twice. Don't pester her. Like it sounds stupid, right? It sounds stupid to say, but it's important that people actually talk about that. Don't ask twice, you know what I mean? If she says not yet, you have to respect that and let her tell you when she's ready. You know, there's like it probably sounds stupid to a lot of women out there that like men need to hear that, but I think as young men, these kinds of conversations are important and very necessary. Like I know that when my kids come of age, I'm going to have a conversation with them that I never had about consent and about what is and isn't okay when you're dating somebody or trying to be whatever, trying to be with somebody. It's something that men need hammered in their head so that when the situation comes up and they're super horny, men get fucking like poison in their brain when they get horny, especially young men. They need to understand like, okay, I'm in a serious situation right now and it's not all about my cock. I need to actually think and act responsibly right now because actually I'm doing something really bad. Where before they didn't realize they were doing something really bad. I'm just trying to, you know what I mean? I think that's how I see it. And so things like with what happened to Andrew, I think is really valuable teaching situation for men to learn about like, okay, this is not consent, what he did. And it's important everybody understand that. I don't know. Consent needs to be part of sex education. That's so true. It's not. Like, it's not at all. Like, I learned about STDs and fucking contraceptive and stuff, but consent needs to be part of that conversation, and it just wasn't, which is so crazy, right? Because I think, listen, we living in a patriarchy where women's concerns about consent and stuff just wasn't taken that fucking seriously up until recently. It just wasn't. People just didn't fucking care. You know, there was a strong opinion like up until recently. I would say like amongst a lot of men that it's like, oh, you're my wife. You just have to fuck me. You don't get to say no. Like genuinely. So there is a lot of there's a lot of work to be done still. Capiche? So wait and fish. I love that name. I didn't even have sex ed in the South. Yeah, that's crazy. Y'all are, the South is fucking some of those states are wild as shit. I see some people saying consent was part of their sex ed. I think that's awesome. I assuming you're probably much younger than me. That didn't happen to him. He did that. I know you're trying to do the right thing, but language is important. Sorry, I don't remember exactly what I said, but if I did say that, I apologize. Wearing women down until they say yes is so common. Many men don't even register that they're committing essay. That's right. Exactly. That it's crazy, but it's true. Learned about consent in my Canadian high school, and there's posters all around the school about getting consent. No means no. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. And I think it's going to make a big difference with the men who are, maturing in that environment. Someone said Hassan posted about the allegation 20 minutes ago. Is this statement out now? I don't think so. The only thing I learned in my sex ed class was that if we ever have sex, we'll die of all the STDs, for real. It's crazy as shit. In some states, they don't even teach like safe sex. They just go, don't have sex. It's like, thanks for the fucking info, bro. There are some places in America they just say don't have sex, and then you got nothing to worry about. That's practical advice. Oh, this person says you're basically making an excuse for him by saying he didn't know better, but you going so hard on other people accused of essay. I'm trying to think. I'm genuinely trying to think of a response to your question and not get defensive. You're trying to make an excuse for him. Listen, I'm not talking about specifically what those girls said and what happened to Andrew. I'm speaking generally about men's experience growing up in this country and about society's perception or even caring about the issue of consent. I'm not talking about anything the girls said with Andrew, and I'm not saying he didn't know better, because some of the details in Andrew's case are like the second one I said was more disturbing. It's like really, really pushy and not getting out of the car and shit like that. So I'm not even talking about Andrew. This person says in Scotland, Lost Frisbee, we got a class on consent during secondary school and high school and a seminar on consent at the start of the university. That's awesome, dude. I think that's so fucking good. My sex ed teacher, this is from #Chelsea. My sex ed teacher told the guys in the room to remember what the girls said before they left in case they claimed you were R-worded. That's some type of sex education.
Wait, what? Repeat that?
I don't think she said, wait, hold on. She said, my sex ed teacher told the guys in my classroom to remember what the girls said before they left in case they claimed they R-worded them. So have their story straight. I don't know. I don't really know what that means, to be honest, but I think it means.
All right.
Look, it's okay. I understand people are heated about this. It's personal to a lot of people. So people who are, coming out aggressively or let's say they don't think I'm coming out hard enough, I totally understand. It's reasonable. I'm not angry at you. And I think it's all worth talking about. So let's just be civil and mature as possible with this. Ethan, I finally got you alone. Sort of. Thanks for being here to provide much needed entertainment. Thanks, Tori. Appreciate you. Tasty Terminator said, my grandmother told me when I get married, I have to have sex with my husband whenever he wants, and even if I don't want to. She said, if he doesn't get it from me, he will get it from somewhere else. That's interesting, right? And that was like the prevailing thought, like in the 50s with the housewives and the men. And so there's like internalized misogyny that's still happening, that's still embedded too. It's kind of crazy. In middle school, we had this lady put on a wedding dress, and when she took it off, there were layers of clothes of the men she had been with before. What the fuck?
Purity.
She had to wear layers of clothes of the men she had been with. That's fucking crazy and weird. Sounds culty. People are still praising your posture. Wow. Oh, Bella Simmons. I finally saw your face. Now I know who you are. Sending my love. We thin, you skinny legend. Thank you, Bella. You're a legend. You're a fucking queen as fuck. Thank you so much. Someone's offering to pay you to sit in the background for them, Sean.
On your show or theirs?
She says, or I think it's a she. Can Sean come to my house and work in the background sometime? How much for 1 day's of work?
Where are you located? Room and board per diem?
Yeah, we need more info to get you a serious quote.
I'm not cheap.
Family. Oh, what's up, the architect? Thanks, bro. The subreddit about this whole situation was very disheartening to see as an essay victim. Every post about it was flooded with rape culture comments. I didn't see that. Maybe in the beginning it had more of that stuff, or I don't know. But again, with this stuff, people get so emotional and it's so personal that conversations tend to be very, very, very intense. What the fuck? Mega awesome nerd. Listen to this. My high school sex ed teacher had all the men spit into a red Solo cup. And then he told everyone, ladies, this is your vagina. The more sex you have, the more unclean your vagina will be. Choose abstinence. What? Fuck me. That's crazy. Wait, someone said, did you see what happened to Trisha? No, what happened to Trisha? Did something happen to Trisha? Let me see. I'm not trying to talk about Trisha, but if something happened, I'd like to know. Trisha Paytas news. I don't see anything. I don't know what y'all are talking about. All right, let's move on. You know what I mean? We got a lot of other stuff we can talk about. Trisha is pregnant. Oh, pregnant again? Wait, is that what you mean? People want to spit in my cup. You can spit in my butthole.